Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be soO versus Zoun here on Gresvan from 2023 Katowice World Championship for 2023. Bottom right, it's going to be Zoun, our Korean Protoss, and top left, a Korean Zerg. It is soO. Haven't had a good soO game in a while, it feels like. So, when I saw him at the group stages of Katowice, I could not resist casting a ZVP featuring him and a young up-and-coming Protoss player. Okay, so Zoun isn't that young, but I kind of feel like he is new on the scene. So, maybe he's not new on the scene. Hatch blocking here with the probe, throwing down a gateway with another probe, and the drone has to settle for this for his second base. Everything is pretty much okay here on Gresvan, a good map for macro games, that is for sure. This is like the fourth game that I've cast on Gresvan, and every single one of them is an excellent macro game. Again, I'm here 5 or 6 times a week with StarCraft 2 content from the professional leagues, from the lower leagues once a week. We had a mono battle last week, which is super duper fun. But I don't know, the mono battle did not get a lot of attention. Do you like mono battles? Did YouTube hide the mono battle cast from you? I don't know. How many of you use the subscriptions tab on YouTube? I feel like most people just, you know, hit youtube.com, right? Not clicking through to the subscription tab on the left side. And that way, the algorithm decides what you see, whether you're subscribed to it or not. Anywho, nothing crazy coming in here. Second gas, pylon, cybernetics core, Stargate. It's not always Stargate. I cast a ZVP featuring, who was it? Hero and Cyril, which started with a Twilight Council. Oh, so interesting. But it's a Stargate here from Zoun. This probe has to run, or else it's gonna die. Oh. Very nice. He's gonna make it home, because speed is not even close to being done yet here. Oh, 1 hit point. Oh, and the Adept would have saved it anyway. That was a close escape. Boom. Depth. Try to get in here. Kill a drone. No, lings, queens. Killed a single Zergling, Adept did. And finished the shade into the main base, but didn't really get much of a scout off because lings were in there. Hold on. Not done yet. There we go. Gets the scout off. Sees no lair. Sees no second gas. Sees no Rotoran. Sees no Baneling Nest. Excellent. That was a very well done scout by Zoun, and 12 HP left on her. Second gateway on the way from Zoun. Gonna make an oracle. Cool. Oracle opening. This oracle's name is Robbie Fizzle. Mild-mannered father from Phoenix, Arizona. He was abducted by the Protoss and made to fly an oracle. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Fizzle. You've been abducted and put into an oracle. This is going to be a longer ZVP game, so the chances of you staying alive are not super great, sir. But yeah, immediately taking queen shots, knocking down half of your shield. You don't have a ton of HP. You don't have a ton of shields either here. You're a bit of a glass cannon. You hit like a truck, so you die like a butterfly. I kind of rhymed. Second oracle out. This isn't quite hero style PvZ yet. You really need to get 4 to 5 to 6 oracles if you're going to do that. 3 is relatively standard here in PvZ. So, soO knows what's up. Queen's great. Getting an evolution chamber just for the heck of it. Spreading that creep like a boss. What I hate about this map, though, is that one of the players is blue in professional games, right? Always a blue player. Ooh, ugh. So there are little pockets of things that look blue on this map, on the mini-map, like this. Or like this. And then I always think there's some blue something there. Oh, sling run by is so standard, soO. You have to be ready for the Ling attack on your third base. How do you not have a shield battery there? How do you not have more than like one adept and a zealot? Either way, I guess he saved it. Fine. It's just so much easier to snipe down now. But yeah, look at this. On the mini-map. This looks blue on the mini-map. Why? I don't know. Drives me crazy. It's hard. It is hard to keep an eye on the mini-map when that's going on. Charge is on the way. These are not going to be resonating glaive adepts. These are regular attacking adepts here. Oracle's going to try to sneak into an area where queens aren't watching and just get a couple drone kills. Sure. Couple drone kills and just get on out. Not getting greedy. But 5 total drones did go down. Are there adepts shading into the main base? No. No, there are not. And then the Lings come back in. Probes, body block, adepts, kill all of them. I guess there wasn't time to get a shield battery up here. But I had to get a pylon up and then make a shield battery. And the Oracles have to come back home and clean up this little Ling infestation. Yeah. So frustrating, but he saves the third. That's huge. Fourth base coming up from soO down the bottom left side. Roachhorn, Baneling Nest, Archons being produced. At least one Archon from Zoun. Creep continuing to spread here excellently, getting that +1 melee attack. At +2 melee attack, Banelings will one-shot probes. And I think that's what we're looking for here. That is the future plan. If you're soO. Yeah, Lings, nope, no, not doing, not with an Archon, not with 2 Archons and 2 Oracles overhead. 0% chance this number of Lings actually gets any damage done here at all. I mean, sure, you poked at the pylon, but by any damage, I mean you kill something. Not happening. Shield battery at the front of the natural. Robotics facility. Maybe you're going to go for some Colossus. Maybe some disruptors. Maybe just some observers for scouting purposes. And if there are lurkers in the future, it's always nice to have some observers around, if not 5 or 6 or 7 of those. Definitely. Hit that like button, man. I am here, like I said, 5-6 times a week with StarCraft 2 content. Hope you're enjoying the cast. And I don't know, maybe some of you people are watching this thing like on an Xbox or on a PlayStation or on an Apple TV streaming box. And it's hard. It's weird to find the like button because they hide that stuff. If you're hitting the like button anyway and it's an extra step for you, I appreciate it. That's awesome. You are truly a true StarCraft and a true Falcon Paladin fan. Robotics Bay coming up. There you go, Robo Bay. Man, place your bets. What do you think? Colossus here, pretty good. I like Disruptor, though. I just think Disruptors are a little bit harder for Zergs to deal with. Not that they're incredibly hard for Zergs to deal with. I'm just saying a little bit more difficult than Colossus these days. I don't know. I guess this Abduct is the same answer no matter what. Fourth base coming up here from Zoun. Charge lots are charging. Disruptors are on the way. I love it. And then catching a creep queen off creep. No, transfuse kept alive. Baneling speed not done yet. Down the left side, so's fourth base is looking pretty hot. A fifth base maybe up here based on creep spread. Maybe down here too. Usually what you'll do is expand here. Yep, and then expand here. And then when you kind of got that area covered, then you expand down here because that just makes sense. You've got that area protected. You can expand there really, really safely. Blink on the way. This has been a fairly passive first 7 or 8 minutes, and so so's maxed out on Lingpain Roach. So what happens when you're fairly passive and you only kill 5 drones in the first 8 minutes? The Zerg player says that was actually okay. Let's move up. Let's try to get some stuff done here. That is a lot of Archons. And against the Banelings, sure. Against the Roaches, not super hot. The Archons actually, oh, they tried to intercept a Baneling attack into the third base there. Banelings are trying to find something to kill, but it's a lot of Archons, man. I mean, no, bad. Oh, nice Disruptor hit, catching so many of those Banes, but the fourth base dies to the Roaches while the Banelings are keeping everybody at bay. That was great. That's all soO wanted to do. Take your maxed out Roach, Baneling, army, Lings. Take out that base. I don't know. Maybe kill some Zealots. None of these Archons have died, I don't think. Maybe don't overextend there. Nova does not take down a Queen. Purification Novas have been nerfed on the Disruptor. The radius has been ensmallened. Not embiggened, ensmallened there. So, gotta be more careful with the Disruptors. They're not as quite damaging as they used to be. Infestation pit on the way, and be careful on the Protoss side. The Zerg player doesn't have to be as careful, obviously, but Okay, yeah, trying to get another Baneling attack somewhere near those probes. No! Archons deny it. Oh, and then this fourth base is just going to get right-clicked on and killed. Man, too many Banelings are exploding on Archons today. They're just not getting any value at all. 63 Banelings have already been killed in 10 minutes. That's insane. 3 roaches die to a Purification Nova. That Archon probably going to die to Lings. There we go. Banelings continue to explode on these Archons. I mean, sure, they're doing a tiny bit of damage. The roaches are the things that are really getting done here. Shield Battery overcharges up, but that got nerfed too. You gotta watch out for attacking into a Shield Battery overcharge situation. So, Zoun's in trouble. Zoun's got a 4th base coming up the right side. Maybe he's going to try to retake his original 4th base position here on Gresvan. There are no gold bases on this map. There are no watchtowers. There are no destructible rocks. It's kind of a weird map that way. But it's big and it's sprawling. It's got a lot of narrow chokes and some high grounds and a ton of ramps. So I think that's what turns it into a really good macro-style map. Baneling's trying to come up this way. That is a really solid wall, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh, sniping down a Disruptor. No! Can't kill that Disruptor. Only 3 kills on it and 24 HP remaining. So, Zoun is kind of getting taken to task here. He finally decides to go on the offensive with a handful of speed lots, which is always something you want to do in PvZ. Always, 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 always speed lot. Speed lot run-bys, y'all. This is a huge Baneling group trying to sneak down into that base, but it's going to get discovered. Get out of here, Banelings. Run, Banelings! Stalkers, sacrifice your bodies! Okay. That was so scary. Zealots coming down the left side do get wiped out by a bunch of Lings here. The Lings have, what do they got? +2 attack? Nice. Adrenal Glands is getting started. My favorite upgrade in all of StarCraft because it's amazing. Ooh. What? That was a Ravager snipe on an Observer. That never happens. Observers are quick, tiny little buggers. They're never holding still long enough for that to happen, but Zoun not paying super close attention. Changelings coming left to right here, and this is, like I said, so Zoun's got his 4th base up, which he's needed for a while. His replacement 4th base, which I guess is now a 5th base, trying to come up here, and oh, surround on Disruptor. Disruptor down. All right, 1 goes down. It was already pretty injured. Oracles have to help clean out there too, activating their Pulsar beams. So expanding down, actually taking this base before this base, which is fine. Expansion patterns are not set in stone. Zealots heading down that way. And I mean, it's the worst possible scenario is they just get surrounded by a bunch of upgraded Lings and die without accomplishing anything at all. Lings are free. 200 of them have already died in this game, and more will die when all is said and done. Lings trying to jump into that 5th base. No, good warping of Zealots. Cannons there too. Lings and Banelings and Roaches trying to sneak up and take down the 3rd. Good accidental scout, and they scout each other. They both see each other. The Warp Prism there. Archons ready to rock. And Zealots heading up the top to right side. So Zoun is very good at this game. He's very good at being in multiple places at once and really making the Zerg player freak out about where the charge lots are and where's the Warp Prism. And, oh shoot, and there's a main army attacking up the middle at the same time. Man, one of my biggest annoyances for Brood War fans is they're like, StarCraft 2, you just make a big army and the other person makes a big army and then you aim move at each other and it's over in 2 seconds. Like, come on, man. Watch a game, how about? Don't believe the propaganda. Yeah, a little Ling run by up this way. We got another attack up the middle here. I mean, this is action in multiple places at once on the map, and it's going to be that way for a while. Yeah, Adrenal Lings versus Cannons, not great, but army shows up, recalls in to save the day. Cannons at the 3rd base are getting knocked down by the aforementioned really very well upgraded Banelings. Probes evacuate, 11 of them get killed on their way out of town. Carriers are out for Zoun. I did not think he'd move into carriers from here, but by golly, he is. Take down the shield battery. There you go. So at least the shield battery died. That was maybe your guaranteed kill out of everything else there. We got Broodlords on the other side from soO. Man, I just spent about 3 minutes there not watching the production tab, and we've got Broodlords out, and we've got carriers out. So, neat. Tier 3 has arrived here today. Archons, pretty good against Broodlords if they can get close enough to them. The Broodlord did get a speed buff in the current patch. Also, Broodlings last less time when they're on the ground. So they kind of got a nerf and a buff there. Carriers, I don't think were touched by anything. This group of Zealots just evaporates. So what happens when a bunch of Banelings find you, boys, isn't it? And the Warp Prism trying to Corruptor Micro. Very nice. If you just chase it, they'll attack, stop, then get back up to speed. You have to attack, move, attack, move, attack, move. And by that, I don't mean attack, move. I mean attack. Right-click ahead of it. Attack. Right-click ahead of it. It's a pretty standard StarCraft 2 strategy, right? Lings do that when they're trying to chase down Stalkers or Adepts. Zealots can do that, too, when they're trying to chase down something like Lings faster than they are. Broodlords and Corruptors. Like, name a better duo. Ooh, free sentry there. Probe's got to get out. What are you going to do? Try to take down, yeah, trying to take down the Nexus here, but there's too much Protoss to keep that, or allow that to happen. Broodlings triggering a Stasis Ward. That's fine. Like, 2 of them did. Doesn't really matter. A couple more probes getting picked off on this high ground base of Zoun's too, which is the 5th base now with Simulator sniped. Okay. This is a pretty good Broodlord micro, and it's a lot more fun to micro them because they're faster. They just have a better top speed than they did. Obviously, it's not insanely faster because you can see them moving now, and you're not like, oh, wow. Yeah, they're zooming around like speedlots. No, that's not what's happening, but they're a little bit faster. Just a little bit harder to abuse by dragging them around the entire map. And they're just going to knock down this Nexus. Those Broodlings, they don't last as long, but they do have +3 attack because they benefit from the upgrade. That Nexus is staying alive. Shield Battery trying to keep it alive, but no. 5th base Nexus down. Lingsbane's thinking about going in there to finish it off. Unnecessary, though. Carriers, a pretty good answer to Broodlords if you can get close enough, but these Corruptors are sitting by just waiting for the Carriers to try to engage there. They're sniping off individual Interceptors too because they don't want to jump right on top of those Archons. If those Archons didn't exist, all of those Carriers would be dead. There are High Templar here though. Storm is a possibility. Disruptor trying to catch those Banelings. Nice Baneling micro. And here's an engagement. Storm is up. Banelings exploding on whatever. Maybe catching some High Templar in there. The Broodlords raining down fire upon the Archons. The Corruptors are trying to take down individual Carriers, but not enough Corruptors anymore. Only 3 remain. All the Broodlords die because when they're unsupported, they're not very good. It's kind of like Disruptors. Not very good when unsupported. A lot of units are that way. Okay, so a base dies there. A bunch of probes have gone down. A total of 43 probes have been killed to 5 drones on the other side. Army value was 100 to 55, though, in favor of Zoun. That was a pretty economical win for him, all things considered. More Broodlords are being produced. More Corruptors on the way here, too. Zoun, very cautiously, expanding in the top right, retaking his 5th. Lings coming around to the 3rd base. And backing out again. Too smart. I'm really surprised soO didn't expand down here during that engagement. I feel like all of Zoun's attention was up this way. Expanding here, expanding here. That would have been awesome for him. He had enough cash for it, but now, I don't know, is he a little bit too worried? Because, I mean, Zoun's taking these bases. The Lings, do they have armor upgrades yet? Not really, no. They don't have any Carapace upgrades. They got +3 attack and Adrenal, which makes them, I mean, they're definitely Cracklings. They're just a little bit squishier, which I don't know. Like, against a +3 Protoss is a little bit squishier any kind of a death sentence, you know, compared to normal. Poor little Lings. Poor little, a little bit squishier Lings. More Corruptors in production. And really, the fact that soO is not taking these bases is a little bit mind-boggling to me. What are we waiting for? Is he worried he can't defend them? What is going on? How about the air upgrades for the Corruptors? They're looking at +1 attack. Working on +2 attack would be good. Protoss is sitting on +1 attack, +1 shields for the Carriers. And I mean, shields are shared by everything. And working on, okay, yeah, ground armor, shields, and +2 air weapons. Broodlord's back. You killed all of them, but guess what? They're back now. Tempest doing pretty good shots. They don't do bonus to Corruptors, but they do bonus damage to the Broodlords. Carriers pulling back. Maybe they don't like what they see there. Broodlords getting transfused here. Oh, man. If you get a Spore Crawler Forest up in this position, Ling's rolling into that top right base. Several probes die. I have no idea what just killed drones, though. 21 probes died. Man, +3 Adrenal Lings are mean. Are we just going to abandon this base now? I mean, everybody responded to those Lings, and it left a really solid opening for that Nexus to get killed for the 3rd time today. Yo! I don't know. I mean, at this point, you don't really want to be sacking probes. We're not quite to that stage of the game yet. Mothership in production. Love a good mothership. 190 to 191 supply. And, oh, getting a full surround on Stalkers is always nice, but then they blink out. And then you chase them down and kill them anyway. Okay, it's great. Oh, cancel! Cancel on this base. This base is not allowed to live. Not allowed. I'll leave it a tiny, tiny bit here. Ling's rolling into that top right base again. They are going to take down a Stalker solely because of the attack upgrades and the speed upgrades they've got. I want to look at the relative age of soO and Zoun, because I'm imagining this game as being like soO is 30 years old and Zoun is 17, but that's definitely not upgrade or not accurate. Banelings and Lings are rolling in. Oh, getting a full surround on an Archon. I mean, the 3rd base died wouldn't be a huge deal for Zoun. It's effectively mined out, but it is annoying nevertheless. Yeah, Zealots respond to deal with that anyway. And finally, soO's taking this base down here. Cast the game with Raynor on this map, and Raynor had this thing at like the 15-minute mark. So it's late. Okay, so soO is 30. Okay, so I nailed that aspect of this. Now I just gotta find our guy Zoun. This is a Terran soundtrack. This is Terran music. Why are we listening to it when there's no Terrans on the map? It's okay. It's a pretty fun track. All right, so Zoun is 25. So yeah, again, Zoun is not that young. He's really not. Yeah, this 3rd base has been under attack forever. This 5th base has died 2 or 3 or 4 times. Zoun expanding up this way. I don't know, soO hanging on to his stuff on the south side here as well. I mean, this has just been... Yeah, Zealot run-bys have had a modicum of success here today, but not exactly doing what they want to do. 11 total drones have gone down. These Zealot run-bys really want to get bigger numbers than that. Archon's not super great here. So I think this is the first kind of Sky Toss, Archon, High Templar style PvZ I've cast on the new balance patch. I'm curious to see how effective it is. Again, not a ton has changed here. Broodlords are faster, so they can dodge storms better. But does that matter as much? soO cheekily trying to expand it down on Zoun's side of the map here. Which, I mean, the Zerg player kind of needs to do if he's going to win this thing on a cost-efficient basis. Ultralisks are being produced. Chitinous plating coming in here, too. So trying to see... What else is coming to play? Motherships, I don't think were affected. Purification Nova radiuses decreased. We talked about that already. Another Zealot run by. Almost kills an expired Extractor. Way to go, boys. And I think at this point, Zoun really needs to get Tectonic Destabilizers, the upgrade that allows Tempest to do more damage to buildings. Because this Spore Crawler Forest is exactly why they were given that upgrade. And I'm kind of confused as to why he's not even working on it. He's got the cash for it. It's gonna come into handy here. soO's Ling run-bys today have been insanely good. Banelings again. So many Banelings have exploded onto Archons today. And, ooh, almost sniping down that Cyber Core would have been pretty hot. Chrono boosting out that air armor upgrade because, ooh, there were lings on top of it, but saved it anyway. Second chrono boost, and then going into +3 air armor. Immediately. Getting shields level 3. Holy cannoli. We don't see that upgrade hardly ever. Wow. So I was going to say, we haven't seen this particular ZVP strategy employed on the current patch. Okay, but for real, bring some Banelings if you're going to get in here. There's like 7 Zealots. There we go. Brought some Banelings. Let the Banelings go in first, boys. There it is. All right, so Ultraling Bane going to run around the map and try to take advantage of the fact that Skytoss is pretty slow. Banelings, dude, okay, if soO loses this game, it's because he threw away 164 Banelings on Archons today. I know that's not accurate. I know it's not every one of those 164 Banelings. But seriously, that was nuts. You just got to be so careful. Those Banelings need to go somewhere else. The Archons can't chase them down when they have speed. Get out of there. Go explode on a building. Like, it's better to go on a building than an Archon. Still no tectonic destabilizers. Is this the Protoss version of forgetting adrenal glands? I guess it is, except for the fact that, holy smokes, when you have tectonic destabilizers, the attacks from the Tempest become orange. It's very easy to notice that you're not using tectonic destabilizers. Whereas adrenal, I don't know, there's no visual indicator other than the fact that the lings are attacking faster. It's a weird thing, right? So economically, the fact that soO has this base is nice. And the fact that Zoun is more cost efficient here is nice for him. 48,000 to 41,000 resources in favor of the Protoss here. A lot of infestors have been produced over the last little minute here. Neural Parasite being done. Fungals, maybe. Yeah, this is going to bother me. Where are the tectonic destabilizers, Zoun? You have killed 1,017 spores today. How do you not know? Maybe he feels like he doesn't need them. So Zoun's just been incredibly patient today. Just chill, hanging out, doing his own thing. Hasn't made a super consistent or super concentrated effort to kill soO here yet. Zoun is just picking around the edges, killing spores, killing creep tumors. If the Zerg wants to wander near my Skytoss army, I will attack it and kill a bunch of it. Ultralisk models have been shrunk, yes. And here we go, an Archon Immortal army. Aha, your spine crawlers are no match for the power of the Protoss. That is very true. Evacuation, get out of there. Get out of there, drones. Go, go, go. And the hatchery's gonna die. There we go. So just defending, attacking, everything's on the edges here for Zoun today. And I like it. It's just been pretty cautious. soO's a legend. His resume is a lot longer than Zoun's is. I think Zoun is technically playing better, according to Ligulac right now, than soO is. With that, in the long run, sure that matters in like maybe a full series, but this is one match. And anything can happen in one match with two players of this relative skill, right? If you're good enough to take somebody to 30 minutes, anybody can win the game. I think that's what it comes down to. If you're good enough in a StarCraft 2 game to take it to 30 total minutes, then you are of equivalent skill with the player you're playing against. I think that's accurate. I think there's no strategy a lobby could employ against somebody like Zoun that would take them to 30 minutes, period. Nope. That's why cheese games are so popular when the relative skill is different. Oh, these Archons getting surrounded. Shield battery overcharge is up, but again, it's been nerfed, so it doesn't heal as much. Aura's along. Archon down, Archon down. Immortal stays alive. No. Zergling barely picks that dude off. That's huge. Retaking the bottom right base, soO is. He knows this is a dangerous base because it's so close to the Protoss, so he's just trying to mine it as fast as he can. As fast as I can. As fast as you can. Oh, name that movie. And the base is going to die again, so the drone's backing out. Corruptor Ball says, how many Archons you got down there, Skytoss Army? The answer is some Archons. 2. Only 2. And then recalls up to try to save this base, and does. Cannons die. Whatever. Carriers, as usual, the longer the game goes on and the more the map gets mined out, their value just tanks because you need to have minerals to keep making these interceptors. You've lost 23 of them already, which seems low, but I guess it's not a giant carrier ball. It's 8 of them. It's not like it's 16 or 12 even. Stormin' Changelings. Lingbane Ultra Secondary Army. We're not here to deal with the Skytoss. We're here to kill buildings and maybe slow down the production capabilities of the Protoss a little bit, but then there were 2 carriers back here and never mind. Ultras decided not to throw away their lives. Holy tectonic destabilizers is on the way. Zoun has decided it's a good upgrade. It'd be applicable in this game. And by golly, it is. It is. Zoun trying to take this 11 o'clock position. Not super great. Oops, single Ultralisk gets caught out in the open and executed for it. He was off creep, and therefore he must die by Protoss law. So the patience here is really something, isn't it? Both players hanging out. Ooh. We got Flux Veins on the way. I feel like I haven't seen that upgrade for a while. Yeah, this might be a situation where you have a big battle and then you want to remax on Void Rays, but he doesn't have enough Stargates to do that. Usually if that's something that's in the plans, I guess there are 5 Stargates. I don't know. There's the Tectonic Destabilizer orange. That's what we like to see. I really feel like this hatchery could be killed, but Zoun is being so careful. So insanely careful right now. It's amazing. I like it. I appreciate it. Broodlord's getting sniped. That's what Tempests are made for. Look, Tempests were built to kill Broodlords. And then they were given Tectonic Destabilizers to kill Spores. There's a lot of things in here that have to do with the ZVP matchup. With the Tempest. Top right base of Zoun goes down, and there we go. Bottom right base here of soO gets obliterated as well for the 2nd time today. But a couple Disruptors get picked off and sniped out by Broodlords. Okay. 19 probes have gone down. 3 more drones have died. 25 drones have died. 92 probes have been killed today. soO doesn't have any cash. Zoun is sitting on 3,000 minerals and 4,000 gas. So he's got a better bank. He's been adding, nope, not been adding Void Rays into his composition at all. It's 1. It's 1 Void Ray that he's got. Got the ability to make 5 at a time if he wants to, but he's using those on carriers right now. Interesting he's doing that. Maybe he feels the Corruptor count is 39. I don't think carriers is the right answer here, man. You do not need more carriers. If soO can take down this ground army, your Carrier Tempest Mothership army will die immediately to 40 Corruptors with 3/3 upgrades. Look at this. 3/3/3/3/2. Air Armor upgrade level 3 is missing from the collection of Zoun here, but he's got a really nice list of +3 upgrades across the board here. I guess the Zerg player does too, but his 2 is a missile attack level 2, which is funny. Zoun retaking the base that he lost. soO retaking the base that he lost here. This is the one that's not really been touched, is it? Isn't it? Yeah. It hasn't been touched at all. soO's been saving it for a rainy day if he needs it later, which, yeah, it certainly seems like he will need this later. based on what we're seeing here now. Good tag. I mean, the Revelation tags today have been pretty good. By Zoun. It's hard to sneak up on somebody with a Broodlord army anyway, but sneaking up on somebody when you've been revelated is an extra tough thing. There we go. Air armor level 3 is now on the way. Tempest just kind of picking off. Nice fungal. And then a storm chases the corruptors away. You want to get down on those Tempests. No. Fungal on those High Templar. Are we chain fungaling them down? Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. Yeah, 3 of those High Templar make it out, but a couple of them die. Is that the engagement? We're jumping in. Archons eating Broodlings for breakfast. Time Warp goes down. The mothership gets sniped by the 40 Brigand Corruptors. This is finally the engagement here at 35 minutes. Corruptors are going down. Orange, red, orange, red. I think all the Corruptors are going to die, and that's a GG zone. Whoa, gets the win there in 35 minutes. With really just one massive engagement at 35 minutes and 38 seconds. Yeah, that was tough. It's always tough for a Zerg player to engage in this situation. Because the Archons are great against your Corruptors. The Carriers can kind of defend themselves, right? The Storms are really good there too. But the ground army just didn't die. 35, 39 kills. A lot of those are Broodlings for these Archons, so that inflates their numbers. And same thing for the Carriers too, right? 13 kills. Yeah, how many of those are Broodlings? But at the end of the day, what it just came down to here was that Corruptor ball kind of stacked up here, looking pretty healthy, and then oranges, and the Carrier, and another storm, He's trying to get them split in, another storm. It was really the storms. He just ate like 4 or 5 storms and 2 separate groups of them, and they're all going to die, and he sees it, and he doesn't have money to remax here at all. Not happening. And he's done. So Zoun Protoss gets the win here against the Elder Statesman. Haha. It's only a 5-year difference, but still, very funny stuff. So fantastic play. I mean, that was Zoun patiently waiting for the Zerg player to come to him. 80,000 resources lost from soO today is a huge number. 56,000 lost for Zoun, a relatively normal number for a 35-minute game. He did lose 92 probes, 6 carriers, 21 Archons. Like, all of this is pretty standard stuff. But 24 Broodlords died, 49 Corruptors, and all the Corruptors here are going to die too, so that's 9 more. So 58 Corruptors died in this game. That's a ton of gas. Only 3 hatcheries went down, but Zoun was playing the passive, patient style of ZVP. Neuroparasite would have been good. I think knurling these Archons, maybe. If he'd been able to actually kill all of those High Templar, there were like 5 or 6 High Templar. He killed 3 of them, but 3 of them escaped with no HP. And having those 3 High Templar in there with full energy, enough storms to kill the Corruptors was the difference at the end of the day. I think they turned themselves into Archons. I don't think they're alive as a High Templar anymore. Oh, there is one alive as a High Templar anymore. It doesn't have the kills, but he bruised up these Corruptors to the point where they are dead. And that was his job, and he executed it very well. So yeah, the fungal catch on the High Templar was almost perfect. Couldn't quite get all of them. Went for it anyway and couldn't pull it off. Amazing. How many Nexuses died today? 6. So soO killed 6 Nexuses and 100 probes and didn't get the win today because of the cost effectiveness of the engagement and the overall game here from Zoun. Awesome. Truly, truly, truly killer awesome stuff here today from Zoun. He gets the win against soO. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.